Hey there, bestie, and welcome to another day of 25 days of tier lists. So, today I am doing a tier list on the Valorant agents. I'm doing this tier list about their abilities. I would like to just preface this by saying, one, I am not a pro player. The highest I peaked was gold, and that was last season. Two, I have a very aggressive playstyle, so I lean more towards characters that I can be really aggressive in playing with, which honestly bites me in the ass quite a bit whenever I don't get the chance to play the characters that I want to be aggressive with. Like if I have to fill as like a healer or something, which I do think Skye can be. But anyway, these are my opinions. Doesn't mean that I am correct in how I feel about these agents, or at least, you know, in the pro standards of them. This is just my personal feelings, who I've played, who I've liked, and how I feel about these characters. Totally okay if you don't agree. I'm okay with that, but also please don't come for me. Obviously we can talk about, you know, if you want to talk to me in the comments about, hey, you know, I don't agree with this because da-da-da, yeah, we can have a conversation about it. But I just wanted to preface this by saying, you know, these are just my it's just my opinion. These are just my personal opinions. So, yeah, let's get started. All right. So first things first, we have Breach. I actually really like Breach. I am still learning Breach. But I'm actually going to put Breach in S tier. I feel like I can be extremely aggressive with Breach. I can hold my own. I love his blinds. I love his stun. I love his ult. You can do so much with the ult. Doesn't mean I always land it though. And I don't exactly know what his C ability is called. It's like the thing that goes through the wall and like, can hurt people. And I love doing that. You can blind someone, then put it where they would normally go. And you can, especially in the lower levels that I play in, you can trick a lot of people with that, and I love it. Breach has a lot of ability to push and do a lot with his kit, and I love that. Okay. And next up we have Brim. I think Brim's smokes are decent. I like his molly, and I do like his stim, and I have a lot of fun with Brim, but I'm gonna put him on B tier. I don't feel like I'm able to be as aggressive as I would like with Brim, and it might be that I just don't know how to properly play Brim, but like I'm the kind of person I like to run. I'm always first on site. I love going in. I love running in with, and it's and obviously I can smoke off a site, but I like having the ability to blind, especially if I am not able to get the headshots that I want to get. So I like Brim a lot, but I'm putting Brim in B tier for my own personal opinion. Next up we have Cypher. So honestly, Cypher, in my opinion, is one of the weakest characters in the entire game, and that's probably because I don't know how to play Cypher. But I feel like they could do more with Cypher and his abilities. I don't know, I just feel like he gets the short end of the stick a little bit, and I'm also too aggressive to play Cypher because I feel like Cypher is more of a hold a site down in the back, and I like to be up front pushing and killing and doing everything I can. So D tier, and like I said, that could just be because I don't know how to play him. I do think there probably are a lot of really great, excellent Cypher players out there, but honestly, I'm just not one of them, so that is why Cypher is there. Okay, next up we have Jett. I actually like Jett quite a bit, but not for myself. I played Jett for a little bit, and I just don't think that Jett's abilities are my playstyle. They fit. I do think she has some really great abilities, and I've seen some awesome Jetts, but I also feel like there's like, usually when someone insta-logs Jett, you're gonna lose. I don't know how to explain it. Jetts are just, it's a thing. It's a Jett thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Alright, next up we have Omen. I actually really like Omen. I have a friend that plays them a lot, and it kind of made me want to play them, and I've been trying them more and more, and I love the amount of stuff that you can do with him. You can just like, the way you can trick the other team so much, especially in the lower levels, obviously, that I'm playing in. I really do feel like you can do a lot with him. I'm gonna put him in S tier. He might get bumped to A tier. We will see. Next up we have Phoenix. I'm not a big fan of Phoenix, and I'm not a big fan of the people that usually play Phoenix. They're so selfish when it comes to not playing as a team. It's like a thing with Phoenixes, and I've seen some semi-good Phoenixes, but the amount of times I get blinded, burned, and like, Phoenixes always seem to be on the opposite side of what you are for some reason, or just play for themselves. And I think that's a big thing in my playstyle, is I love playing as a team. Like, to me, that's all it's about. Like, play as a team, push together, work together. Now, obviously, getting different angles or whatever is good, and there's certain strategies, but go over your strategy with the team before you run off and do your own thing, in my opinion. Yeah. Phoenix is, and I like playing Phoenix every once in a while, but the most I'll ever play him is in, like, Spike Rush or the new mode Swift Play. So that's my thoughts on Phoenix. Next up is Raze. Okay, listen, this S tier for me. I fucking love Raze. Raze is one of the most fun characters I think there is. Like, playing Raze just reminds me to have fun, because that's all Raze is, and I think that even fits Raze's personality, is just fun. I love Raze's abilities. I love Raze's mobility. I love that I can throw my bot in and use my grenades to cover certain areas or pull people out of hiding spots. Raze is fucking dope, and the only thing that I would possibly drop her to A tier for me would be her ult. Her ult can be kind of whack. You're either gonna absolutely kill it, or you're gonna absolutely be terrible and want to cry yourself to sleep. But I love Raze, so that's why Raze is S tier for me. Next up we have Sage. I think I might put Sage in S tier as well. That res ability is chef's kiss. The only problem is, especially at the skill level that I play at, a lot of people don't think when they use their abilities or they play the game. I've noticed people will just, it's like a Phoenix thing too, like they'll just throw their blind and not push the blind. Push the fucking blind. Like, obviously there's strategies, but like, you have to be smart in the way that you use your abilities, and I feel like a lot of people get the abilities and they're like, I don't know what to do with this, so I'm just gonna do whatever. If you're gonna res someone, for the love of God, please do it safely. Now, I've done a lot of unsafe reses myself where I thought I could protect. It's gonna happen, but I think that's the thing about any of the agents. It's about how you play them, how you use their abilities, and it also depends a lot on team synergy, for sure, and how the rest of your team is playing. But anyway, next up we have Sova. I actually really like Sova. I do not know how to play Sova. I really am not good with getting those shock dart angles. Like, it's just, and I don't know. I love Sova. B tier though, because of my own personal, like, inabilities with Sova. I think Sova's a lot of fun, but I don't know. I can't play Sova. So, anyway, next up we have, okay, wait a minute. I think there's 20 agents, aren't there? So I can only put four per thing. Oh boy. Okay, well, this is about to get difficult. Alright, I'm gonna put Viper A tier. I actually really love Viper, and I've seen people do these crazy lineups, which I don't really know any lineups with Viper personally, but I do really enjoy Viper. I think she's a lot of fun. I think she's a really strong character, but only if you use her abilities correctly. I think that's any character, right? In Valorant, some are just so simple, in my opinion, that you don't really have to be super good with their abilities. You're just great, which actually, coming up on Reyna, I think I'm in love with Reyna, by the way. Like, literally, I am in love with her. I'm in love with Reyna. what I like about Reina is she is badass as fuck, and I can be very aggressive with her. But I also feel like her abilities aren't. She's a very simple character to play. Her blinds, you throw it out there, just get it placed correctly, and obviously you can heal or dismiss, and you can easily pop off with her ult. I love that. Well, the thing about Reina is a lot of people play her and she's a performance character. You have to perform well in order to use her abilities correctly. So although her abilities come very naturally and are very simple to use, you actually have to be a somewhat good shot, or at least push those fucking blinds. Seriously, for the love of God, hear me, please, somebody, push your blinds. If you're gonna blind, go out with it. Do what you're supposed to do. But I love Reina. This might be something a lot of people don't agree with, but I think her blinds are the best in the game. You literally know that if you get that ball out there, it's gonna blind everybody. Now, it can be shot, but I don't know, I just really love her blind, because I'm not great at angling some of the other blinds in the game like I need to, and that's a me issue, but I really love Reina. I would put her S tier, but I'm gonna leave her A tier only because her abilities, I think, are just a little bit more simple. But I do think it all comes down to who plays Reina, and the only issue with Reina is I get so many insta-lock Reinas that just don't know how to play Reina. They won't push site, and I'm like, to me, she's the ultimate pusher. Like, I love playing Reina for that. I can push site, hold, like, I can push in, get a whole bunch of people killed, move around the site very smoothly. With her abilities, I can heal myself. I love that. But a lot of people just don't really know how to play Reina, and it kills me. Next up we have Killjoy. Love Killjoy. I love her kit. This is another character that I feel like you have to know how to play to really be good with. You have to be smart in the way that you place her little swamp grenades. When you're in lower ranks, yeah, you can get away with throwing those on the bomb, but the higher you get, people are gonna be like, no, they're gonna put the grenade on the bomb. You gotta think about that kind of stuff. You can hold a site really well with Killjoy. I think that's one thing I love the most, is defending with Killjoy, or covering the flank, or keeping people from being able to enter certain doorways with Killjoy, but you can really hold a site with Killjoy, and I love that. I really like her ult. I don't like that you can shoot it, and I think that's a big thing with Killjoy players, is one, they will place it in a spot that doesn't really make sense. Two, they'll place it way too early in the round, when it doesn't really make sense to, before you even know if anybody's on site or how many are on site. Especially if it's easy to run away from that ult. The placement of her ult is really important, and I feel like a lot of people don't place it well. I'm not saying that I've been amazing every time. What I'm saying is it's something I've noticed. I'm not saying that I am perfect at it myself or good with it myself all the time, but I do think with this game you really have to think about what you're doing. Anyway, next up we have Skye. I actually really like Skye. I think she's a very, very fun character. Oops, I bumped my mic, sorry. I think she's an awesome, fun character. I love that she can blind, I love that she can clear sight, and I love that she can heal a lot of people at the same time, and that's almost why I would put her above Sage, but I just love Sage's res and ability to wall up, and obviously, like, her slow orbs are really underrated, but I really love her slow orbs. They can actually stop a lot of stuff. Only because I don't have room, Skye's gonna go on B tier. I really like Skye, but for my personal playstyle, I don't play Skye that often, and that's also why she's gonna go on B tier. Okay, next up we have Yoru. I kind of have a love-hate with Yoru, and that's mainly because I've messed around with Yoru, and that was before I messed around with him a lot more before his updates, and I need to mess with him more. I'm only gonna put him on C because I just haven't played enough of him to really be able to say how I feel about him. I've seen people play him and just absolutely kill it. I've seen really good Yoru players. They're crazy, and I love that for them. I am not one of them. Next up we have Astra. Astra is actually, I started playing a little bit before Astra got released, and I got her the day, because I had an extra, like, free contract, and I got her the day that she came out, and I mained her for a while, and I really love Astra. But the thing about Astra, I think she's an incredible character. However, I'm gonna put her on C tier. See, I'm having issues deciding now because I see some other characters coming up that I'm gonna. Okay, anyway, I'm not great with Astra. I also didn't know what the hell I was doing when I first started. I love her so much, but I think that, and the reason I'm putting her lower also is because I think a lot of people just don't know how to play her. You really have to think when it comes to Astra. Now, I have seen people that are good with her, and I've seen some really awesome plays, but you have to be good with her. So anyway, next up we have KO. So KO is really, I love his suppression knife. The amount of times I've played a character like Raze and had the knife thrown on me and my ult goes away because of that. Oh my fucking god, that is heartbreaking. Good god. KO can shut down some shit, and I like that. KO can reveal where people, or at least how many people are there. His blinds are mid, and his grenade's okay. I think it comes to how you play KO. I'm putting him in D tier, not because I don't think some of his abilities are great, but because, I feel like some characters are, I don't know, we'll see. It might be changed. Next up we have Harbor. Harbor goes in D tier for me as well. Also with the newest update, I feel like they really nerfed Harbor, but Chamber. I know their names are different, but it's like my brain thinks weird. Sorry, Chamber. The thing about Chamber is he is not my play style of character, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't vibe with Chamber. I have gotten a lot better with Op, which does make me better with his ult, but to be honest, I don't use his sidearm. That's one of his abilities, like, at all when I play Chamber. I feel like it's a little bit like the Sheriff, and I'm really bad with the Sheriff, especially if I'm, like, panicking. I don't know. He's not my type of character. Now, I have seen really good Chambers, and I will let the good Chambers stick with him. Now, that may change. It's funny, I've not played certain characters and then gotten really into them later on, so I'm just saying. Alright, next up we have Neon. Actually, I'm moving Jet down to B because I kind of want to put Neon in A. I fucking love Neon. She is super fun to play. She's fast. I love her little wall. Her ult is incredible. Her stuns are nasty. I love her stuns. I love that it sends 2 out. You have to place those well, which a lot of Neons don't. Also, one thing I've noticed is a lot of Neons don't push, and I don't understand why. You have the ability to run in with your walls, and when her wall hurt you, oh my god, that was a little OP. But they got rid of that. But honestly, I think Neon is a solid-ass character, and I don't know why more people don't push with her. I feel like that's her whole thing, is to push and be a good pusher, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. What we have left are Fade and Harbor. I'm gonna put Fade C and Harbor D. The only reason for this is because I haven't played either character enough to have mastered them, and I've seen a lot of good of Fade players. I think people are still learning Harbor. I like Harbor. I tried him out and I liked his abilities a lot. I think there's a lot you can do with Harbor. But I don't know either character enough to really, I would say, put them higher for myself. Not saying that they don't belong higher for someone else, but like I said, this is me and how I like the characters and their abilities. So let's do a recap. So S tier, I have Breach, Omen, Raze, and Sage. A tier, I have Viper, Reyna, Killjoy, Neon. B tier is Brim, Sova, Sky, and Jet. C tier, Phoenix, Yoru, Astra, and Fade. And D tier, Cypher, KO, Chamber, and Harbor. I think that every agent obviously has their pros and cons. And honestly, it's like anything. It all comes down to how you play it. And that's why we have abilities in Valorant. I always try to tell people, I'm like, you don't have to outshoot the other team, you just have to outstrat them. And obviously when it comes down to a gunfight, you have to be somewhat good, but usually if you can out-strategize them, you can hold your own enough to get by, until you get better at shooting, which, I'm not the best shooter ever, but I don't think I'm like the worst of the worst. I think the thing that I've been trying to really work on is making sure I get those one taps. That's a big thing for me. But yeah, this is kind of where I would rank them. I'm only doing 4 on each. I would have probably put more in other areas, but I like to try to keep it to a certain amount per tier so that I really have to think about it and pressure myself to who I really think is above who. So I feel like this is pretty solid. This is kind of how I feel, and you know, this is coming from someone that's like silver gold player. I'm not like pro, so like take my opinions with a grain of salt. Anyway, that's how I feel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure you check out all of my other tier list videos. Until Christmas, I am releasing 1 a day, so stick around for that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, busties!